Sit on the couch, watch some game show contestants. To show their smarts, they submitted for testing. The host says, okay, we've all had some fun. You've come so far, you've almost done in one. But one last question, contestant number one. Tell me, who's the first president of our union? Abraham Lincoln? I'm sorry, number one, but you got a raw deal. Contestant number two, you have a chance to steal. I'm like, was it James Garfield? Contestant number three, you have the last chance, son. I know the answer. It was Andrew Jackson. The contestants leave the game show in disgraces. The world paints loser on top of their faces. All three contestants give their very best. How does the world know if they're a dud or success? Contestant number one is a doctor for pets. They paid off their mortgage and they owe no debts. Contestant number two is a promising banker. They have 5 kids and never stoop to anger. Contestant number three is active in their church, gives their excess dollars to folks in the lurch. And yet all three were defined by the buzzer. 3 lights hiding behind the viral shutters. The game shows go to propose apropos, and the sound of failure that nobody knows. Goes the alarm clock. I roll out of bed, listen scholar talk. I take a class feeling confident, but when I get my final grade I see accidents. 65%, my teacher says to me. You're just above a failure, you've gotten a D. 65% is just one step above failure? Let me tell you something. If 65% of this nation agreed on something, we wouldn't need to lean on our bipartisan system. If 65% of the world agreed on something, maybe we could finally feed the starving children. And if 65% of you agree with me, maybe we can make a change to last more than a week. I may be 65%, but that doesn't show you what else I did over that semester when a failure I was branded. Let me tell you, I made new friends, I learned about myself, I wrote a whole novel to stack up on your shelf. I practiced my squat, became self-taught, economy and history belong in my thoughts. I treated women with respect and civility. I mastered several of my nagging insecurities. Nobody cared, they couldn't see the trees. They say 65% is what defines me. No matter how much I gained at whatever the cost, the world just remembers my solitary loss. Honestly, bankruptcy philosophy is a comedy, the blameworthy farce holding onto a monopoly, consciously jailing our collective unconsciousness in fear and mockery are gaining the ultimate dominance. But you know what, audience? You don't have to subscribe to anyone's claims. When they enlarge your missteps, minimize your gains, so go ahead, world, call us a shade from failure. We are better than most of you ever were. Maybe we should stop judging people for mistakes and recognize the sacrifice success takes. To the system, to the world, and all Tuggy Hughes, we here say one thing to you. Thank you.
Woo! I love that.